Hey friends, welcome to Chai and Coaching. Rob here. And in this video, we're going to be talking about short intensive programs from the London School of Economics and Wharton Business School at Penn here in America, and how short courses like this can really help you either in your studies or career. Check it out. My friends, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm really excited. We're going to be learning about some incredible programs about strategic management and entrepreneurship and how short courses can really upgrade your skills and your long-term career. So let's go ahead and meet our guest speaker.
Hi guys, hi friends. First of all, thank you Robert for introducing me to this Chai and Coaching initiative that you have, and I really admire you for the initiative that you have undertaken for helping students, all the international students, to succeed in America. At the same time, building and fostering that sense of community to work together and probably develop your own network in the US and abroad as well. So guys, my name is Sarvadnya Kulkarni. I am a mechanical engineer by default, but after completing my graduation, I changed my track towards management and I did my master's in management from London Business School. And now I'm an incoming student in the Colombia MSNE program, which is the Management Science and Engineering program.
Awesome. Sarvadnya, I'm so excited to be making these videos with you. So today we're talking about short courses, but we're going to make some other videos about your time at London Business School, and then also all the amazing admits you got in America and why you chose Colombia. So be sure to check those other videos out too. And Sarvadnya is tuning in from Mumbai on the other side of the world. So thanks so much for giving up your Friday night to hang out with us and share your journey. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it. Amazing.
So let's reverse a little bit and look back into why you chose these kind of short, immersive, intensive programs at the London School of Economics and at Wharton. Not many people do these. They just want to go for a full master's or full PhD. Why did you choose these short courses? What was kind of your journey?
Yeah, I think we need to look back into my first year of engineering to actually dive into my journey. So as any normal Indian student who has done his engineering, normally the trend is that people normally go in for a master's program directly after doing engineering into specializing into that program. But what I was thinking was of a different aspect altogether, because I felt that it is very important to, first of all, explore all the fields that are there. It can be technical as well as management or commercial oriented, and then choose your specialization. So I think this obviously creates an impact inside you holistically and creates a holistic type of development, which is very important in creating a multidimensional personality. So during the first year of engineering, I felt that I should also look at other aspects of management. And that is when I started doing my research of other short courses, short intensive courses that I can probably venture into. And two of these courses were definitely, one was the London School of Economics Summer School for Strategic Management, and the other one was Wharton Business School's Entrepreneurship Specialization. However, the journey was really, really intensive in order to get there, in the terms that I had a complete engineering background. I had no absolute knowledge of management at all. So I think it was more of a hustle for me to get into these schools, which are so renowned, and the acceptance rates are so low, even for the short-term intensive courses. But at the same time, I had to get my way into the door of these schools, and I wanted to do that. So with that motivation in mind, I applied to these schools. So now, for applying to these schools also, you require a lot of past experience, which I did not have. So the first thing that I did was network and contact my seniors and the other people who are alums of these programs. After I got into a connection with them, I definitely developed some sort of relationship, got some advice from them as to how I should progress with my application to make it stronger, so that I could get an opportunity to try out and probably apply and get a fair chance to be a part of these programs. The advice that I got was, as I also would like to advise to the prospective listeners, is that you should develop your profile holistically. These schools want to see an overall development in the person, as compared to only something which is not only engineering or not only management, but as a whole holistic person. So I had to basically create a lot of change inside my own resume. So for that, I had to do an internship in the manufacturing side. So normally the internships that you generally get in India during the graduate career are so manufacturing, so mechanical specific, if you are into the mechanical engineering field, that it becomes very difficult to venture into something else. But, having that hustling nature and having that drive for getting to where I wanted to go, I tried to pursue my mentors to teach me about management concepts. I also got the chance to develop supply chain management or concepts during that internship, which was definitely not what I was assigned to do. But, you need to hustle. You need to go extra mile every time to get where you want to reach. So that was one thing and I got that opportunity to do it in one of the biggest conglomerates in India called Larsen and Toubro. So that was a really huge learning curve and a great value add to my resume as well. Along with that, I was always interested in entrepreneurship right from my 10th grade, I think. And having that in mind, I always wanted to do something in an entrepreneurial front. And so I decided to join the entrepreneurship club in my undergraduate college, which is, by the way, called VJTI, if people from India are listening. So it's one of the top colleges in India, which is one of the oldest colleges. It's around 130 years old. And it's a state government run college. So it's like really highly meritorious people get into the college. The college exactly has like around 1% acceptance rate. So it's really tough to get into the college. Once I got into the college, I had that goal set that I want to enter into the entrepreneurship club. And even though I was in the first year, normally the situation is that people from the first year usually are not taken into the core committee of any clubs. But, they saw the drive in me, they saw the passion in me to do something out of my life, do better, that entrepreneurial aspect of solving problems, So having said that, they gave me a chance to get event coordinator and an event head first year itself, which is given to hardly anyone in the history of our university. So I got the privilege to be a part of that. So these two aspects I definitely developed in that 1 year. And that's why I could possibly get a chance to apply to these colleges and be considered. So the application altogether was something else because it was very intensive in terms of essays and the video essays and obviously the final interview. So I always, as I mentioned, I approached my seniors who were part of these programs, and that is very important for you to do because you need to get that experience from someone who's already a part and a parcel of that program, who was already an alum, who has already experienced that, who's already gone through that, as well as you need to incorporate all the things that you wish to learn and develop in yourself while pursuing that course as a part of your essay, which is very important.
Yeah.
So I did that. I absolutely did that. And in both my applications, both for Wharton and LSE, and I applied and I gave it my best shot, and then I just left everything to fate. And thankfully, I got an invite for the interview for both these programs. After definitely considering and prepping myself a lot and trying to give my pitch and reiterate it and think of what exactly I was going to say, I definitely aced that interview, I feel, because immediately at the end of the interview, in both of my interviews, they were pretty positive and they were pretty excited to have me on their program because of the value add that I was going to cause, because of my entrepreneurial drive and my passion for learning about management to get that extra holistic experience apart from my core engineering programs,
So Sarvadnya, I loved that even though you had an engineering background, you're a mechanical engineer, my sister, she's a mechanical engineer too, that you had to adjust a lot to really pursue your passion. You had to, get more skills, you sought mentors, you had to get an internship, that you could develop yourself holistically to even have a chance for these courses. So I love that how you pivoted and prepared yourself to get even more growth and opportunities. That was a great just observation I made from your story.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to reach some goal, I think it is important for you as a person to go that extra mile, to put in that extra efforts, to make those extra sacrifices, which definitely, and if you do it in the right part and you do it smartly, and that is by obviously gaining experience from people who have already made mistakes and learn from them, I think it is very important to do that as well. And if you do all these things, I think you will definitely achieve that goal which you want to achieve. It may be these small intensive courses, or it may be anything in life as such.
Yeah, awesome. So now let's talk about London School of Economics, the strategic management program there. Tell us about, going to London for the summer and just some of the highlights of your experience there with this course.
Yeah, so I must say this program was one of the best things that happened to me because I learned how little I know. I mean, I was just a fish in a pond. I had never been out on my own. So this transition from being a student, being a person in India, in Mumbai, which is my hometown, to that global level, meeting global people, meeting people from various cultures. I felt as if I had blinkers that horses have, and they were definitely removed, as I could see in through all aspects, be it their culture, be it their lifestyle, be it what they do for fun, some exchange of ideas, the concepts that they had known all their life, their work ethics, everything. So I think a major part of this journey was networking with people in that 1 month. So I feel even though the course was only for a month, it was intensive, but at the same time I had lots of fun dealing with lots of people, lots of cultures. I got to know countries which I never knew existed. That's the global outreach that LSE has, I feel, and such programs have. And talking to the people who are hearing their life stories is truly amazing. Talking from a program point of view, so I pursued strategic management, which was an introductory course to strategy. So I wanted to do this course because I had no knowledge of strategy from any angle at all, and I wanted that approach, that introduction to enjoy it basically. And I wanted to see if this is something that I really enjoyed and this is something I really want to pursue for my future. So with that in mind, I decided to do this and I ventured into this, and it was really a life-changing experience. I learned so many concepts in strategy, like Porter's 5 forces, like VRIO frameworks, external and internal logics, also determining how to grow a startup and how to make it more sustainable, and also determine its sustainability. And if not, then how to improve its sustainability as well. So this was taught to us by excellent professors, and I got to attend a lot of lectures, even of Nobel laureates, which I thought I would never get a chance to. So it was really a transition for me, from, being in that local engineering college in India and living in that own bubble of mine, to breaking it up and finally getting into the groove of entering into a global climate and expanding my knowledge, expanding my resources, all of that, So this was also one, I would love to give an example. I basically, the end of this course had me to do a capstone project on this startup. And I chose Warby Parker. Definitely, I would love to come to it later as to why I chose Warby Parker. But definitely, I was able to gauge whether it was sustainable, what was the model of the startup, what were the Porter's 5 forces. I could gauge all of that. And that I replicate even today. For any project that I do, for any that I have, even the company that I'm working for today, I look at it from the strategic point of view always. It's only because of the 1 month of teachings and learnings that I had. So it was really an immersive experience, I must say.
Awesome. I love it. And now that was just a 1 month summer. And then next on your journey was a short course with Penn University, Ivy League college in America, with their Wharton Business School, which is very famous. Tell us about that program and the entrepreneurship and the highlights there.
As I mentioned before, I was really interested in entrepreneurship right from the beginning. I always wanted to start a venture of mine. I always was interested in startups. But anytime I approach something on a practical point of view, I want to learn the theory behind it. I want to learn and get the knowledge that is associated with to 100% before I actually step into doing something. That is why probably I try to develop myself holistically. And so with that in mind, I thought I researched a lot about the entrepreneurship courses, about the entrepreneurship specializations that exist across the globe. And this was definitely something which always caught my mind, because it taught me everything right from scratch. I did not even know what equity was before starting this program. I mean, I was so naive, since obviously because of my engineering background. So I had no idea absolutely. And I had aspirations to start my own business, but I never knew how to do that. So I wanted to learn. So the same process, like I adopted London School of Economics, I must say I adopted even for Wharton School, is I contacted the seniors, I approached them, I made my application. But this was a different point of view, because the differentiator from LSE was that this was more intensive in the sense it was a 6-month specialization, not a 1 month course. So it had various modules that I got to learn right from basic concepts of equity, what types of different financing is required for startups, what a business model is. I didn't even know what a business model was. So all of that, what a business model was, what are the different types of techniques which you can develop on your own for establishing your startup, what about marketing it? Because digital marketing and social media marketing is so important in advertising a startup in its early stage. I got to learn everything that is to it. I understood what a pitch deck was, what a sales deck was, what was the difference between those two. I really understood a lot of concepts, which I definitely thought that I had no about, and it was really a great value addition. And my learning curve was so steep in those 6 months. And besides that, I developed tremendous amount of networks and got in touch with great founders of great startups, because all the people who were there were just starting out, were just getting to know the course, were just starting with the startups, had ideas, had just started with the startups. So all of that, And one such startup was Warby Parker. In 2015, 2016, this startup was absolutely just starting out. It was so naive. It was just, it is shell. It had not grown to what it is now. And I got a chance to meet the founders because they also were in the Wharton School of Business. And so at that time, I got a chance to talk to them and interact with them. And they told me about this idea that they have. And I really loved this. And I thought that I should definitely do a project for them. And that's why this project, which translated into LSE, because both these courses overlapped at some point of time, So I got to use all the learnings that I had, that I received from LSE and from Wharton into this project of estimating whether Warby Parker was sustainable and how should I make it sustainable from a strategic point of view. And I delivered it to the founders and they loved it. They thought that this was really a great value add to their company, to their startup. And I loved that I could contribute in some little way possible. And I feel that as long as I could contribute that, I feel that I could create some impact due to these courses. And even it's not about only these courses, like for example, entrepreneurship is not only if you want to develop a venture on your own. It's not about that. It creates an analytical mindset. These type of courses give you a sense of, it gives you a holistic sense of thinking, not only from one point of view, but all different points of view. And having an entrepreneurial mind is always important in tackling any problem and solving any problem to the utmost effect, And all these things definitely go a long way. Even today, when I'm working for some other company, though I've not yet started my own company, it helps me look at problems that they face from a very different perspective. And I look at it from a strategic point of view. I look at it from a finance point of view now. I look at it from a marketing point of view now. And I also look at it from an engineering point of view. Mm-hmm. So all these points of views I have just because of these two courses that I've done along with my engineering life. So it is very important to have that balance in life, which I achieved definitely from getting into these courses. And I have no regret about that.
Awesome. I love it. That sounds so cool. I'm an engineer too. And so I understand going from one total background to like getting into business and starting companies, like it's a totally different world. And I can definitely resonate with what you say. Like, yeah, what is a business plan? What is this? What is that? You have to learn it, but you got to learn it in incredible opportunities, which I love. So our chai question for this video is, have you taken any short intensive courses yourself? Maybe at a different college or program or university? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to learn about other short, immersive, or intensive courses people have taken, similar to what Sarvadnya has talked about with London School of Economics and Wharton. And to wrap this up, Sarvadnya, tell us just, now that you've been through these kind of short programs, what are some reflections, what are some takeaways, or even what are some maybe final advice you'd give to people who are considering maybe these short, month or couple of month long programs?
So my advice is, though these programs are short, take in as much as you want from these programs. Try to utilize these programs, even though they have a short time, to take in and imbibe the many values that these programs give, because they go a long way. Each and everything, even if it's for a short time of a month or 6 months, gives you an incredible value addition, which you can portray not only on your resume, but also in your life. And all these courses, as I mentioned, developed me as a holistic person and gave me that strength on my resume and as a person during my interviews to give these examples, to give all the learnings, to incorporate all of them and applying to the universities that I applied to and get in all the admits that I got. And this definitely was a learning curve for me. As well as now when I'm working in my working life, I feel that these courses, each teaching that I've received from the professors or from my peers or any network that I built goes a long way today. I cannot stress the value of networking even during these short-term courses, because even today I have such strong relationships that I go to them for advice. They come to me for advice. It's a mutual sharing of ideas, and we collaborate on various aspects, not only on a professional level, but on a personal level as well. So I think these are the main core values that I can take away from these short courses.
I love it. That's so great. And I love just getting to learn so much from you. These are unique programs to me that I haven't been a part of things before. And I think this is going to be incredible advice to other people. So this was helpful. Everyone give a big like and thumbs up to say thanks to Sarvadnya and telling his story. I know it's definitely going to help guide you guys out. And a great way to upgrade yourself and just in your professional career. Sarvadnya, thanks again, buddy. This was a really fun conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks a lot. It was a great pleasure.
Definitely. Don't forget to check out Sarvadnya's other videos we're going to be making. There are going to be some really fun things in there. And don't forget to connect with us online, on LinkedIn, on social media, and subscribe to Giant Coaching, because we want to keep helping you guys be successful in your cross-cultural journeys around the world. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.